Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a special episode of Mr. Alan SuperShow. On drums, my dear friend, fellow YouTuber, fellow musician, one and the only ShartimusPrime rock and roll.
Yeah. The ultimate outro.
So finally, you are back in my show, my friends. It's very good, and I hope one day to play music together in the same room or in the same stage. Should be super cool. Should be super cool because the music is like a blood. It's the blood in our mind. It creates an awesome connection, and also because I love rhythm. For example, when I did song in general, many times I start because I use a program like Pro Tools, Logic to do the pre-production, no, to write everything, the orchestration for the song. In general, I started with the drum part. Obviously, I use the keyboard to play that because the drum give me the feeling of the song, the mood, but also which type of song what I do is important. Start with the drum because like the blood inside, not the vein inside. The vein is correct.
Right. Or I hear the comparison to like the heartbeat, and the heartbeat pumps the blood, right? Very similar thing. It's like pumping all the blood into the band. That rhythm makes the juices flow. It helps.
It's really, and also is for example, when I some years ago, many years ago, a long time ago, far away, I did some concert in 2004. I was really young, a little kids, but I was lucky to be the opener of important musician in Italy, right here. And I remember I'm singing a song like that. That was like that. But it's in Italian, so if I sing, you don't understand what that means. The name in English, the name of the song was "The Flight of the Phoenix." The phoenix is a type of bird.
Oh, okay, Flight of the Phoenix, huh?
Because I like the mythologic story of the phoenix, because the phoenix every time dies in the fire and rebirth to do the same things along again. I have no problem, because for every problem, start to play piano so we can do together every time. Also, if you.
Yeah, no, that I actually I need to look that up. That okay, hold on a second. You guys get back inside right now. Both of you. You're not supposed to be in here. Close the door.
Your kids?
Yeah. The kids snuck into the garage.
How old they are?
They're 4 and 3.
Wow,
So,
really little. So
yeah,
no, I have no kids. I have just a pug, a dog.
Oh, nice.
My kids is a dog.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, it's like with having a pet, it could be good therapy and everything. I've heard it's like very therapeutic to have a pet like a dog, and if you want to go crazy, you could have kids.
Exactly. Because the reason why I don't have kids in general, because of my heart. I'm a guy that the art take over of my life, literally. So because of that, I think that I can't be a good father, because I'm too much focused on my stuff. I think I prefer do this. I did this decision many years ago when I decided to become a musician, later a writer, because you to be is a easy work. It's not easy work to be a father. It's just hard work.
Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's rewarding, but it's also a lot. And yeah, I can understand why people don't want to have kids and stuff. It changes your life in a big way. You know what I mean, to say the least. Like it's a very, very life-changing experience. So it's like, it's something that I only recommend people do if they want to do it. Like if if you really want to do it, like you should do it. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You're just gonna resent your kids the whole time. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah. I don't recommend it if you don't want to.
Yes,
but I want.
I like the T-shirt. It's fun. The T-shirt. Remember?
Oh, this guy over here. Oh yeah. Congratulations, Pixel Dan. Pixel Dan. I think he won his wrestling match recently.
Yes, so, I know. I'm a wrestling fan too, by the way. And Danny
nice.
was. Yes, I love wrestling.
I'm more of a Pixel Dan fan than I am a wrestling fan, to be honest with you. The only people that I really support in wrestling are people that I actually know in person to an extent. So Pixel Dan and Jerry Gigolo are my two favorite wrestlers. Or Pixel Dan, was it Spencer? Was it Spencer something?
Spencer Power?
Spencer Power?
Don't remember. Me too.
Jerry are my two favorite wrestlers, and they're local wrestler, or they're not WWE. But yeah, I don't follow professional wrestling. I've been
personally, I'm a fan of the WWF of the 80s. The 80s, the Giants, Hulk Hogan. Those years I like. Because my other channel is, I have another channel bigger than this one. Is a channel called a Wrestling Channel with Alan Magnetti. And it's a channel that started 5 years ago. Now is about 20 million of views. But the problem of myself, that I split myself in this channel and the other one. Sometimes I do the live reaction for wrestling in the other one. And at the same time, I upload video for this channel. So crazy that. But
that's
speaking
tricky,
of Dan, Pixel Danny is a nice guy. He was 2 times in my show also, Danny.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah, he's awesome. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
because with him I have in common also the things that he is also a writer. He did the book for Motu, for Master of the
Yeah, I
Universe.
bought that. Yeah, I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because I'm a writer too, so we with him I have this something in common, and with you, music, man. But I
Yeah.
was born as a musician. I tell you a little story because they want to know also your story for that.
Sure.
The feeling with the history, the love story with music by me was started many years ago when I was a little kid, like your kids almost. Because my father, in my family, the music is alive. No, my father was a musician. My brother is a musician. My cousin singing also today. So
Oh wow.
the music
Nice.
is in our blood and family. And since I was a kid, I listened many good music as a kid, rock music, rock and roll, or rhythm and blues, this stuff. And every time at the time that I listen to music, I start to wonder myself to sing that song in a big stage. So this dream got me very, very earlier, no, in my life. Happened the same things to you, my friend.
Yes. Mad Balls. The Mad Balls cartoon used the song Great Balls of Fire in their theme song, which is a Jerry Lee Lewis
Yes.
rock and roll tune. And I remember seeing that, and that song, I loved that song. I loved that song so much that when I was about 6 or 7 years old, my parents took me to a live concert to see Jerry Lee Lewis. And I think
Wow.
we're only 3 rows back, and I got to see him. He looked like he was an older guy, but I remember vividly seeing him on stage going nuts, playing the piano with his feet and going crazy. And he was still like, he was an older guy, but he was going crazy. I remember seeing the sweat, like from the stage lights, the sweat kind of sparkling and all that stuff, man. Like it blew my mind. So I was so excited about piano that I took piano lessons at a young age, around that time. I also liked Little Richard a lot. Little Richard, I remember seeing Little Richard on TV a whole bunch, and I thought he was amazing. I couldn't believe, like, very similar style of music and everything. And I remember getting stuck watching Little Richard and thinking that, like, I couldn't believe he was a real person. Like because he looked like a cartoon character to me a little bit with all the, like, well, because he wore makeup. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but
Yes,
also, but all the rock and roll and everything, and all the gestures that he was doing, and the way he sang, and he was just so alive. I just thought it was absolutely amazing. So I wanted to take piano lessons. They wouldn't teach me anything about classical, so I didn't really get involved. And so I started to lose interest because they never taught me the blues. That's all I wanted to learn. So I wanted to learn how to play the blues. I wanted to play rock and roll on the piano, but they never taught me that.
Honestly, me too. I tried to learn hardest instrument, including this one I show you now. And this one is in my opinion, as a musician, is the best instrument. Not because it's difficult. Is a rock instrument, but this one is because it's really hard to play. And I learned that actually, as a musician, as a artist in the concert, in the show, at that time I working only with girls, music girls that play instruments, models, dancer. Sometimes I fall in love with one of them. Sometimes with two, it start some problem. So this stuff happens.
It's gonna happen a little bit, you know. It's
The
okay.
problem is when maybe you have a girlfriend. So I start this one, the violin. And this one is really a badass instrument because you haven't notes, nothing. You have nothing. It's not like the guitar, no. In this part, you have just the strings, and you need to learn. You need to learn what the right position. So it's not easy. Like the guitar you have the line, you know.
That's like play. A cello or a double bass. Yeah, same thing. Like I used to I could play a couple of I could play like one good walking bass line. I have a
Oh,
jazz bass player who let me borrow his
wow.
upright bass. So I learned how to play the F blues on an upright.
Cool.
And yeah, you have to remember, you have to feel for where the notes are. You have to know it all in your head. That's hard.
I don't.
That's a hard ass
Probably
instrument.
it's not on tone now. Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not easy. Also because I studied that for some years with different girls that work with me. And the
Mm.
problem, there is a problem. If you want learn instruments, it's better if you are a man. Don't work with a young teacher, maybe younger than you, because it's a female. Because start some problem, no? Because the as a poet, as a writer, the imagine of at that time the idea, no, of the violinist was super poetic, no,
Mm.
super lovely, too much maybe.
Mm.
But for example, you need to learn to study many times the position, no?
Mhm.
But it's not easy. It's not easy. It was my brother, for example. My brother is a guy that if I listen a song, he can play violin, mandolin, guitar, everything. And he doesn't know the notes on like that, like this in the background. He
Right. He
just
can't right.
hear something and start to play. He can play. He learned the music of Ray Cooder. Do you know Ray Cooder, the guitarist? Ray Cooder. He's from
No,
California, I believe. It's from Santa Monica. Is in California, no?
no, I don't know who that is. What kind of music is that?
Yes, it's interesting because it's like a country rock.
Oh,
However,
okay.
like you, that you start with play piano, I start with play that, and I start to play also this one. And this to do some song, I use also this one, the guitar. No,
Oh yeah, yeah,
now it's not on tone, however.
yeah,
So when you told me your story that we start to piano and then you move to other instrument to go finally your instruments,
yeah,
so I understand that.
yeah. It's not always the first. I mean, I stopped playing music for a little bit when I got back into it. My dad is like he used to record music for people, so he wasn't like a big time music producer or anything. He just recorded. He used to work for this company that I mistakenly called ILM at PowerCon. I don't know why he said that. He didn't work for ILM. Pixel Dan, I'm a liar. I don't know why I said that, but he worked at and I still forgot the name of the. I always got the name of the place he worked at confused with ILM. And now I can't remember the actual place where he worked, but he used to record music and studio video movie stuff and multi-image showcase. That's what it was called, multi-image showcase. So he used to record. He used to have musicians come to our house and record downstairs. He made like a recording studio out of the downstairs area, and he had reel-to-reel set up and everything. And all kinds of different musicians would come over. Violinists would come over, singers. Not a lot of percussionists, but guitar players, piano players with their big keyboards and stuff. Like all kinds of different musicians would come over, and my dad would record them for money. And so that always was really cool for me to see. But he didn't really play an instrument. He played a little bit of guitar, and he had a guitar. So I was playing around on his guitar. He taught me the one thing he knew how to play, which was just like was just an open E string and F, and then like just the first three frets. Taught me one little thing. Then when I was in high school, I started playing more and more, and I rented a bass. Then I think I went to a church and I saw a drummer there, and I was like, whoa. The drums was like it called me. Like I knew, like I was totally enamored with the drums, like how loud and big and how cool the drummer looked. Like every little thing about the drums was just like it came from heaven. Like it was like the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. I was enamored. I couldn't stop drawing drum sets. Like I was just stuck drawing drum sets. I couldn't help just, I was already watching a lot of MTV and music videos, but I would go to music stores all the time. Like it took me a year. I got myself a pair of drumsticks and a little practice pad, and my parents said, no drums. You tried the piano thing and then you quit, so no drums. I'm like, I'm gonna get a job and I'm gonna earn my money for drums then. So that's exactly what I did. I got my drum pad, and then and I practiced for a year on the drum pad, and then finally on my birthday, my mom got me the nastiest, crappiest, beat up, most used drum set I've ever seen in my life for my birthday. It was god awful. I was so upset by it. Plus, I had saved up about a bunch of money, so I thought I was going to use the money I had, and then as a Christmas gift, or I mean, as a birthday gift, get the cymbals so I could have a complete drum set and everything.
I understand also.
Garbage drum set. It was so bad, but it taught me how to take care of it. I took it apart piece by piece, every single little screw, and it had rust on everything, and I had to clean the rust off with Brasso, every little screw, every little rim. I bought new drum heads. I took care of that thing like crazy. I washed it, cleaned it up, and that was like the first drum set I used to play live shows with. So I ended up loving that thing. I still have one drum from it, but I got rid of the rest. But it was a crap drum set. It's made out of cardboard, but compressed cardboard. But it was like I was really into it, where I still love that piece of crap drum set.
Yes, also because it's a part of your story as a musician. I understand also the problem sometimes to when you are younger, you won't start this career, this love, and sometimes your parents are not very happy about that. For example, to me, got a piano wasn't really easy because the price of the piano is big, no?
Right. Yeah.
So when I go into the university, and University of Art is music, the stuff I did in Italy, I got some. When if you got good results in the university, you got some money, no? And with that money, I was able to purchase this piano at the time. I was already. I already had at the time also a keyboard. I started working at the time with Logic, Cake, this MIDI program to start to compose music. But I remember when I got the piano, the day after was a Saturday night, and a friend called me to go in the city to dance in some pub, no? And it was really, really. At the time, was really confused to what I want at the time, because I want to see the piano, but I want to go to dance with my friends. So I feel until the last minutes, I stay my friends. So what are you doing? We go or we don't go because you have the piano now, no?
Wow, that's so funny. That's great. That's that's tricky. I know that could mess with being a musician can mess with your social life, man. Because I remember, I practice better at night. I like practicing at night, and I've actually done that before. Where like I was thinking about going out to a show or going out, and then like I got so stuck like practicing that I didn't want to go anywhere. I was like, oh shoot, I really don't want to go anywhere. I used to have I've had a couple of recording studios that I used to rent, and I remember driving out to those studios and staying out there till like 4 a.m. practicing. Like I would just sit there and practice for hours. So yeah, you can, like, a lot of people don't think about that part, you know what I mean? Like whatever part sounds good, like it took a lot of work to get to have fun. It takes a lot of work to have that much fun. So it's like, there's you have to dedicate yourself and kind of be a little bit antisocial a little bit.
Yes, this is the rules of the art in general, because also as a writer you need to writing many hours.
Right.
And also as a YouTuber, we need to editing videos after videos after videos after videos.
Yeah.
But I think for us it's more easy editing video because we know the editing in general, because also for the music, if you use Pro Tools, if you use this stuff, you edit, you cut some stuff. No, it's not video, it's audio, but the concept is similar. The mindset to do that, to edit video or edit music, because
Right.
you need
We
to
talked about that before. Yeah.
you need to do this stuff a lot, and also to spend a lot of time. And by the way, I some when I decide to have you in the song, the Mythic Legions song, I watched earlier some of your music video, because I discovered you have also a music channel video, because to see which I saw that you work also with the orchestra, jazz. So also jazz is not easy to do.
No, it's the hardest. Like big band is the hardest, I think. Like big band is so like my wife couldn't understand that, especially if at the point, like there was at one point where my wife didn't want me to play the show. She was like, why can't they just have another drummer play it? And I was like, it's not that easy. Like, who is going to play it? Like, it's not like you could just get any drummer to come in here and sight read. Look at these. This is my music, man. I'm back in jazz band, and it's not like it's not the. I mean, it's some of the hardest stuff. This isn't the hardest that they've offered, but it's like not every drummer can read this.
Yes, absolutely.
Any drummers out there can read and understand this? Can you guys follow? You know what I mean? You have to know how to read music. You have to be able to sight read music. You have to know how to. You have to keep your eye on the director, sight read the music, listen to the bass, make sure that you're tight with the horns. Make sure you're catching all the hits in the music and everything. It's very complex. It's very intense, and I love it. It's the most fun for me because I am so focused. I have to focus on every little thing I'm doing so hard, and I love it because it's like life at the fullest, you know. Hey, what's up, Rick Jones? Good to see you.
Yes, there is some comments, some guys that watch you. Thank you, guys.
Guys
Don't forget to subscribe the channel, my friends. But
subscribe to Alan, dude. You won't regret it, and he's got a lot of news posts and stuff, so it helps keep you in the loop.
Yes, news. Sometimes, man, because the channel is also for the news. Sometimes I'm going crazy. When start. Now I start to thinking like a nightmare, because start will be asbropulse.com. And for that, I will upload maybe hundreds of videos. So it will be a crazy weeks during because it's also into news. So it's the hardest part of this work. But back on music, because I won't stay on I won't stay on that. My English is very awful. You know why my English is like crazy like that? Because I learned English with wrestling. Let me tell you something, Minji. Oh. So my English is really basic because of that. But I understand everything. When you speak with me, I understand everything. But when I start to talking, I maybe sometimes I make a mashup. But the weird things of that is when also maybe right now also because when I talk with you about art, I'm still super excited. So maybe I could say something weird also in Italian. However, sometimes I'm thinking English, and this looks like weird. Maybe because I watch video on YouTube in English, I watch a movie in English, wrestling in English, and I start to think in English. So my English still bad. My English. So
your English is better than my Spanish, and I'm half Latino. I mean, it's like your English is doing really good, man.
I remember that your mother is a Latino heritage. That's right. Yeah, I remember because we talked about that one of the previous show together.
Right, and my dad's Maltese. That's how we both have the same kind of nose. See, yeah. See the schnozmangs are over here. See, I got the big nose. This is my Maltese nose. Partly Maltese.
But speaking of jazz, I think that something that I like about you as a musician, and something that should be cool, I don't know, because the only problem that we live in different land, but should be cool to put something together, because I discovered and watched this video that you have an open mind as a musician.
Oh yeah.
You are not just a guy that do only one type of music. I think also because you play jazz, because jazz is a type of music that open your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
and punk rock too. Like I feel like punk rock does that a
yes, I
lot.
know.
Punk rock, by nature, punk rock is very open-minded, and well, not everybody is open-minded in punk rock. I mean, you do have sticklers and everything, but like you, there's a lot of other music mixed into it. You know, you could have skate, and there's a lot of different types of punk. There's your skate punk, thrash punk, hardcore punk, ska punk, pop punk. There's all kinds of different, you know, punk that you could play. Oi punk. There's all kinds of punk. Like there's all kinds of. Did I say? Yeah, you have all kinds. So, like with jazz, but jazz definitely you have to kind of study the different styles of music that are incorporated into it a little bit more. I think, like with Brazilian music, like with samba, you have to really kind of have that feeling, right? I almost want to play some, but it's too late over here. It's almost too late. But you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
to me.
yeah,
It's
nice.
not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I try to do. Mine was a worst version, my personal worst version of "So What" of Miles Davis. No.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
I don't remember the notes because as a musician, maybe I have a problem. I'm a guy that I play only stuff that I create. So I create my song. I only because in Italy, for example, some of my popular friends, because yeah, in the past, when I told you the little story before, I was a little popular in my country because I was the opener of this famous artist who was my friend of mine. So after that, I started to do my tour. No, it was 2004, and I remember the pub, the theater was full of people because sometimes the people never find the seat because this popular tour that they did. The only problem is that the problem for to me especially when you got some fame, maybe you got in arena with many people. I remember the last date of that tour was an arena with 20,000 people, something like that. And the people
Wow.
call my name. The people call my name before the concert of the main artist. Called Alan, Alan. Wow, was an excited more than the make love with some beautiful girl. Was something super cool. And later, the problem is I got some bad producer that don't understand me or that was very well. So when you lost a little bit this magic moment, you can become sad a little bit, no?
I
So
call it reverse PTSD. I call it so like PTSD is like when something really traumatic and bad happens to you, like it happens, like it gets stuck in people's head and it has certain effects that and a lot of time you have to go to therapy and stuff, but like it's usually when something really bad happens to you, right? Like I say reverse because this is where something really good happens to you. And it's like and how do you bring yourself, so you have this crazy high, like this crazy natural high that no drug could give you, right? That I've heard of anyway. And you can't come back. 2005 was my year. I was touring with a pop punk band. We were playing a different place every night. Every place. We were going to a new city in the United States. A lot of people in California, if you guys look at the geography of California, we're on the coast, right? So a lot of people would say they go on tour, but they're just going to LA or they go up to Oregon, somewhere on the coast, But with us, We went all the way around the
Wow.
United States this way and all the way around playing Canada, and then go. We kept on going in circles around the United States, and we had international distribution. We had
Wow.
play on the local radio station. One of the songs that was recorded with the other drummer, I wasn't on the track, but one of our songs was on MTV. So
Wow.
we had some popularity. I could see the crowds get bigger and bigger after each time we would play. I would get to the venue. People knew who I was already. Like as a drummer, I mean, not a lot of like, I remember I was just walking around the thing and I could hear people in the back, like behind me going, Russ, oh my God, that's Russ. Russ, what? Russ? Like it wasn't 20,000 people or whatever, but I could hear these people saying my name. And it was like, wow, that's so weird. I'm just walking around and people are going like, oh my God, there he is. There's Russ. He's a drummer. There's Russ. That tripped me out. So like that whole experience, the band had gotten into some trouble and stuff like that. One guy got arrested. Another guy got his stuff stolen. It's still a pop punk band. So people are going to get into trouble and do bad things. And I wasn't the one that got arrested. I was not even involved in any of that shit. I called the bail bondsman. That's where I came in. But anyway, the singer ended up wanting to quit the band and everything, and he canceled the band. And I had never been so depressed in my life after that band
Yes, I
ended.
understand.
I was just at home. I had no job. I had nothing. I had to go work a crappy job at a touristy spot and get myself back into college and try to get my degree. And I dropped out of college to go tour with the band, so I had to go back to college. That sucked. I had to go back to school, get it.
Wow.
Degree,
It's interesting that we have in common also this story, the up and down. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Almost in the same years, because in 2005 was my debut in TV, because I work also in TV later in Italy. And an anchorman, a host of this show, was also a guy that wrote the introduction of my last novel that I published. So it was a popular, but as after that, I remember 2006 was a so depressive year. And I think the reason why I really open with you, because I feel this something in similar. To survive this stuff, I started writing. The reason why I become a writer is try to find an escape to forget this wave that goes down.
The negative vibes,
exactly. And I start to open the box to find my old toys. Also because of that, I started my WWF Hasbro figures.
Oh, good.
The reason why I think, because when you touch the toys, you touch yourself when you was a kid, when you was more happy,
I know what you're saying. Just a funny choice of words, but yes, I know what you mean.
So because earlier I started with the writing, but also writing is not difficult to me. I published 5 novels, but I started writing in 2006 with some fairy tale, then with novel, and now I have a novel to finish. This number 38. So the problem is like the music. It's not writing song. Not to me. I can write 10 songs every day, but also I can. If you call me and say tomorrow you have a concert, I can go to the concert also without testing something or to do some whatever. To me, it's not a problem. Be on stage. I can stay on stage also if I don't know what I can do. But the problem to me is find the right producer, or as a writer, the right publisher. And this is really hard, because find a good publisher for novel is difficult. Like find a good producer as a musician. So because of that, I started to become a YouTuber too, because I need another escape to forget the problem with the publisher. So I started to do the channel, wrestling channel with Alan Magnetti. It's a good channel with numbers now, 50,000, 700 subscribers in 5 years. So not bad. But then also it was enough, because I started collecting toys, especially WWF Hasbro figures. So I decided to do that for the toys. because the good side of be a YouTuber, if you can, you don't beside the fan, the followers, you don't need nothing to do that. You don't need a publisher, a producer,
Yeah.
someone that you just only yourself, depend of yourself, your idea, your strategy. And so because of, and also you can stay on, you do everything because you don't, maybe you don't know how many travel I did just to talk with someone. There's a popular artist, manager, producer, publisher, and sometimes you become tired to stay quiet with this guy that sometimes are really arrogant also, no?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not the way of an artist. I understand you have something similar. Is not easy, man, because it's our life, it's our blood, but it's up and down, up and down. No.
I was just talking to my friend. We are talking about how when we were in the recording studio, how we had, excuse me, we're playing, we're recording, and the producer was looking at my drum fill. He could see it on the Pro Tools, and he's like, "What's with that drum fill?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I thought it came out clean." He's like, "Yeah, but it's weird." Now I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but it still lands, right?" He's like, "Yeah, but it's just really weird in the middle. Like, what is that? What is that odd time? I'm like, what is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's in 5. It's a drum fill in 5." And he goes, "Why?" And I'm like, "That's why I wrote it. That's what I wanted to do." You know what I mean? Like, what the heck? And that, I remember, like, that, me and the bass player were talking about how I thought, like, God, that guy was such a dick. Like, what do you mean why? That's how I wrote it. Like, if it's like a little bit weird to you, I don't know. He just seemed irritated about me trying to dabble in doing a little odd time drum fill. And I thought it worked out really fine too. It was in 3 groups and it landed on it landed on time. It was just a little bit weird. And I don't get that many people commenting on it either. Like, not that many people go, "Oh, that's the craziest drum fill," or, "Oh, that stood out." You know what I mean? That's a good drum fill if it doesn't stand out too much, right? You don't want it to be a drum solo. You just want a drum fill, right? so, so it was like a nice little drum fill, and I don't know. So I know what you mean. You have to have the right producer and everything, and doing YouTube is liberating because you're the only one who's in control. If you want other people to help you, if I could afford it, I would hire people to help me with YouTube, help me edit, help me post on social media. Like, if I could afford to pay people to do that, I would totally do that. But I mean, aside from that, you could pretty much do the whole thing on your own, like, only because the channel's gotten bigger, I think that way. But for the most part, you could just do everything on your own. It's very convenient like that. I love it.
Yes, it's also especially more you got more freedom because you are your director actually, and also you don't need also because I am also a director. For example, in the video of the Mythic Legions Song, I did the direction for the video.
Yeah, that came out great. Yeah, and all the editing and everything too. Yeah, I liked it.
Yes, because I was also for that I did that different time because I did some short movie in the past. So,
Okay. Cool.
but for that is more difficult because you need to find the actors, the actor, the makeup, this stuff. In this video was just myself and you, so it's more easier. But also for YouTube, it's more easier because you do everything by yourself. So that I like that. The only depend by me. I like that because when you need to find also to do the concert, the problem if you're a band, you are a band, so you're a part like different parts of the same body. But to
Right.
me, I'm Alan Magnetti with my complete name. So it's myself with other girls that play with me. I can tell you a fun story. During a tour with these girls was I believe was 3 dancer and 3 musicians, a trio, cello, violin, and the bigger violin. I don't know what the name in English.
Oh, the double bass.
No, bass. It's like the violin, but it's a little bit longer. You use in the same way.
Viola? I don't know.
Viola, exactly.
Viola,
The
right?
same name, the same. So I have this 6 girl, and we go a concert in Milan, in North Italy. Okay, we start the concert. after the concert, start argument between the dancer and the musician, and
Oh.
start to not fight but almost fight each other. In the same times, I was really upset.
Girls.
No,
Wait.
no, no. To me, I was also upset because at the time I had a problem with the girl that plays cello, no. So I had also some art problem with her. So I wasn't really happy because at the time was during the show I was happy. When the show ending, also this time happy. When the show ends, it's like after you make love, you become empty, no, without the show.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So yes, it's a little bit more a strong, a strong example, but I think works really well. So
yeah, it feels like you may have you unloaded a little bit of tension and
exactly, but also because when I play song, you know, I discovered that in different type of art that they do. When I writing is like to dreaming. Sometimes I wrote some chapter of my novel in with closed eyes. Sometimes my because I know because I'm a musician. To me, easy also play the keyboard of the PC, the computer to writing. No, so I able also to sometimes I do the concert. I can play without. I can put a band on my eyes. I can play like that. No, because he knows where is the nose, like the word, the letter on the keyboards. So writing is like sleep and go in another world.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
do a
how I
song.
totally
Be
know.
in the concert. Be in the concert. Sorry, man. I'm Italian, so maybe I'm Italian. I'm Gemini, so maybe I talk too much.
No, that's okay. No, but I relate. No, I 100% relate. But go on.
So when I did the concert, during the concert, also if I was sad before because some problem with some girls at the time, during the concert I feel like immortal during my song because in my show I use a different costume. I change myself many times. No, it was a concert with a story, and each member of the band, girls, had a role, a character in the story. No, it was a show. And that time looks like all of them was mine. It was really cool that it was including the girl with I was a little bit in love with at the time. So at the time it looks like powerful than ever. But when the show is ending, wow, you become sad, empty inside, depressed. And meanwhile, these girls start to fight each other after the concert. Come on! So I go away. I leave the girls during the after the concert, and no one at the time knows where I was because I disappeared for maybe 1 hour to don't see this girl fight each other's in this. So it was really bad.
Oh yeah. So did they feel bad because you left?
Yes, because start to search me later. Where are you? Where are you? Why is it impossible? You're like a kid. Where are you? They were very really upset about that.
Oh wow, yeah, I bet. Yeah. You don't. We try to. My punk band, we always fight like right before the show. We always we always end up fighting right before the show. We actually have been getting along really well since the pandemic, which is really weird. But like, but yeah, the punk band I play in, it's one of those bands where, like, are they really playing tonight? Because like they're supposed to be here about 20 minutes ago, and they're not even here yet. Like they're supposed to go on in 20 minutes, and they're not even here yet. Like, are they going to play tonight? Like, so, and we always show up at the last minute, like, fuck yeah, and we're all mad at each other and everything. And then we play a great show. Like, hey man, you're great, man. You do really, yeah, brother, you're good too, man. Like, and then we're friends again. So it's almost like, I mean, a lot of people can, yeah. So I mean, that's but I love those guys. We're brothers. We just always kind of get at each other's throats. But like I said, because since after the pandemic, we get along a lot more. It's really bizarre because you'd think we'd be fighting more. And a lot of people seem to be angrier since the pandemic and everything too. But with us, like I guess like we've just appreciated each other a little bit more, and we've gotten along better. So that's cool. We're writing new music together and stuff, and it's we're just being more respectful towards each other and everything. Overall, it's kind of a trip. But yeah, like you don't want to fight with your bandmates and the musicians. I know that feeling that you're talking about with that power. Not that it's like I mean, if taken out of context, it sounds really bad. But I know what you're saying because as a drummer, I used to play with this band that used to put on very visual show. We played a show with the Suicide Girls. Have you heard of the Suicide Girls?
Yes, I know.
You like the Suicide? I like the Suicide Girls. And I didn't know we were going to be playing with the Suicide Girls. And this punk band, they have two singers. One of them is a guy, and the other one is female, and they both wear very revealing clothing. So it's very sexy kind of show. And then on top of that, the Suicide Girls are dancing over here. So there's just like that playing drums with people dancing on stage and musicians playing at the same time. It's a very powerful feeling. And people dancing out in the crowd. So this beat that I'm laying down here, it's like everybody in the whole room, every musician hears this. Every dancer is feeling it, and everybody dancing out there is feeling it. It's a very powerful feeling because you literally have control over the vibe of the room at your hands. It's exhilarating, but it's not just that. That's only one. In reality, that beat is only one part of a big picture. It's only one piece of a big puzzle. Like the singers are doing their thing, the guitar player, bass player, the other guitar player, like everybody's part of the whole picture. But like it's still kind of crazy how you could feel like that sensation. There's nothing like playing live shows, man. Live shows are the shit. I'm happy things are more back to normal now. It's like it's the closest that it's been.
I think that now I probably stay more normal now because I hear, for example, in Italy, that is not it's not the obligation, I believe in the correct words, to use the mask everywhere now. It's different. Also in the school, I heard that you can it's not you can stay at school also without mask. So I think it's a little bit more normal now.
Yeah, same here. It's not required everywhere. You know, in the hospital, I think they want everyone to wear a mask inside the hospital, but aside from the hospital, it's not required everywhere.
Yes. So
on the planes,
I don't think that we will be another lockdown again. Also because now we start become too much serious, maybe, but also because now there is this big bad war, so the attention is on that now.
I know that's way closer to you than it is to me. That's for sure, right? Like
yes, it's not so close because but it's not far like you. So
right. It's no, it's still that's still. I hope that ends soon.
Me too. Also because this stuff is really sad.
Oh God,
especially for the normal people, no?
Oh man, what was it? I mean, just to talk about a downer, right? It was the only sad story, but what was it? That video of the father saying goodbye to the little girl and the mom, and the little girl and the mom, they're crying, and the father is gonna go out and fight and everything, and they say their goodbyes and everything, and the father goes out to fight, and then they find out that it was the mom and the daughter that were killed from a bombing while they're in a shelter. I was like, oh.
Yes, this is really sad.
Dad who's going to go get killed because he's the one who's going off to fight, but it's the innocent mom and daughter staying in a shelter, and they ended up getting killed. Like, holy crap, man. Yeah, it's just like regular people. Like, what the hell? I can't imagine. I can't fully wrap my head around how terrifying that whole experience is. It's so sad. It makes me upset, and I feel like, man, wars should be illegal, man. I feel like war. It'd be nice if we didn't have any more wars anymore. That'd be great, but it's not. It's not the reality of it.
And meanwhile, when you hear some story, you discover that we are lucky to don't be in this situation. No, at the same time. Because sometimes you see people complaining day by day about their life, but they forgot what they got for their life. That maybe someone lost because of the situation. So,
right. I was feeling a little bit, I was feeling a little bit down on myself the other day, and then I was listening to a radio program, and they're just talking about somebody else going through some harder stuff, and I was like, man, I have it so good. Like just 2 seconds ago, I was thinking about how bad I have it, and then like just hear something to bring it back to reality, and it's like, oh man, this is how good I have it. This is like really how good I have it. Like tell myself to shut up and and not complain. It could be tricky, but as like I think the whole world has been affected by the pandemic. We're talking about I had a live stream earlier today where we were talking about the HasLab Ghost Rider and how it's a $350 purchase and stuff like that. And I was saying like a lot of people are feeling the economic stress. There's a lot of like there's a lot of money stress going on right now, and people. I bought some groceries, and it's like, wow, the groceries are so much more expensive now than they were before. It's like everything has gone up in price and everything. And it's like everybody's, a lot of us are feeling it, so it's tough out there. And then some people just have it worse and harder than others. So
yes, also because yes, it's a big price for this stuff. Only you need to love so much this franchise, maybe also to purchase that, because I think it's a cool car. I saw that because they covered that also with the news, so I know what that means. So I think it's a cool item, but also you need to think about it. Also in Italy, everywhere the price of the light become higher now because everything. For example, I'm lucky because to the winter, to have a warm house. I have my house is on 3 floors, and I use the fireplace. Like the fireplace, I use woods, and like that, I can save money.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Yesterday night, because I live in the night, I got oh my god, I don't know what is the translation in weight, because kilo and pounds was in kilo was 200 kilos, so in pounds.
Is that like 450?
400 pounds, 400, because I'm good with pounds. It's wrestling. Come on.
Is that
444 pounds, 450 pounds of goods I got.
Now I got to look it up to see how well I am. Kilogram to pounds. Oh, okay. So if it's, you said 200 kilograms? Yes, 440. I got it. 440 pounds. 440.9.
Actually, it was 250 kilos. So maybe it's a little bit more. Is probably
so 250 kilos.
500 pounds is 229 kilos.
80 was it 500? Oh wait, 500.
No, 500 and 565. No, 560 maybe, probably.
Okay. Let's see.
Because now become it's interesting. This
550.
So very good. I told you 550. That's right. With Presley, you learn that.
Yeah.
Because you know why I don't? Because I try to compare the weight of the biggest guy in wrestling. Under the Giants was 523 pounds, so 239 kilos. Yokozuna was close to 600 pounds, so like that I was able to find the kilos. Gotcha. Last night, I did my live stream in wrestling. After that, after SmackDown, I go in the basement and I transferred these 550 pounds of woods from the entrance of my garage inside the garage. So. In
fun.
The night, so you can wonder what is the feelings of the neighbor right here with me.
They're moving dead bodies in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
It was so heavy. This sounds so big. What does he
Since
do?
when I was a kid, I was a little kid that I complained to go to bed too early because I'm a guy that I like the night. So I
Yeah.
also because both my channel have US audience. This one US audience, the other one of wrestling US audience. Because if you do a channel of wrestling and toys in Italy, you got nothing. No, so
Oh,
but also because honestly, I there is something in the US that's more similar to me because I like US writer like Stephen King, Philip Roth. I like US musician. I like US director. So the art that I like is from US. The Italian music, for example, the current Italian music is awful. Don't listen Italian music because you can broke something because you don't is awful. Really, really bad.
oh. I haven't really tuned in, but I would be open. I mean, if you knew some good stuff, I'd be open to listening. I try to keep an open ear to everything, but you're
Yes,
saying
me
it's
too, me too. But if you play music, you can understand what the music is good or not. No,
Mhm.
it's not the problem with type of music, but with type of artist. And the problem today in Italy, I talk about Italy because I don't know overseas, but in Italy, the producer don't take risk for an artist.
Mm,
Prefer stay in something that stay in the range, stay in the typical type of music.
mhm.
So my problem at that time, for example, when I produced by myself my first album with many special guest star Italian, all the major label got me a meeting because they are interesting about these many important artists in my album. But when they heard the music, they say, "Wow, you're really good. You're a good artist like Peter Gabriel." Big acknowledgement, okay, big acknowledgement to me. But later says, "Yes, it's super cool. I love your music, but I can't help you because it's so much different. So much. It's difficult to put your music in one of this way because you are everything, no." And it
Mm,
is a big problem. The same as a writer. So if you are original, if you're something unique, you become in trouble in the music business. Also in the writing business, no, if you could call that. I don't know.
right.
It's the same in US, but in Italy it's like that. So the producer produce the same stuff. Guido from X Factor, Italy Got Talent. It looks like American Idol. This stuff in Italy. So this talent show in Italy produce guy that's singing good as a singer, but
Right.
there's nothing about charisma, nothing about like in wrestling. In wrestling, the same problem. Good wrestler, but nothing about character. So this is the problem, the identity, in my opinion, the art today.
I get you. Yeah, yeah. There's not a lot of originality, a lot of copy and paste, a lot of people doing the same stuff. Yeah, I kind of feel like, I mean, music right now, I feel like has gotten really weird over here in the States too. I mean, it's kind of uh, like the only thing I can really keep track of is like the latest stuff that comes from Epitaph. Um, and then and then I don't know, some hardcore bands that I follow on Instagram, I can see what they'll post. But like for the most part, a lot of the new music out there is just a lot of pop. Over here, it's always kind of been a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, some of it's cool. It's just things have changed. I feel like with out here, there's not a lot of room for new music to come out, and there's no real solid platform for music to come out where everybody can go and watch. That's one thing I really miss about MTV. I mean, I think you grew up with MTV also, right?
Yes.
Like you, I was exposed to everything. I'm not really I'm not a rap or a hip hop or an R&B fan, but I was exposed to all that stuff growing up.
Yes.
I know about it. I may not recognize Biggie Smalls and Tupac right off the bat, but I know about them in that era of gangster rap and everything. Like I have an idea of who Nas and Jay Z are, mostly from people talk. But I've heard about rappers and stuff like that and exposed to it a lot of it from what I was able to see on TV. Now we don't have TV anymore. I mean, it's there, but it's not really there. Everybody's just into their own style of music now. Nobody, like, you can't really just be exposed to all the new stuff. You know, I think there was a Cardi B music video that came out, and I was like, whoa, okay, what's that? And I was like, damn, that HasLab Ghost Rider is way overpriced. Yeah, man, that's like, I think a lot of people have the same feeling where it's like, hey, it looks cool, but it's too much money.
Yes.
That's like a lot of people are saying, one thing I love about this community is that we are not suckers. I hate that people try to treat the community like suckers, and they'll say like, oh, influencers are affecting people's decisions, or people are just fanboys and whatnot. Now I'm like, no, you're wrong. They're not just fanboys. These are not simple-minded people. Look at the Star Wars HasLab failures. Star Wars HasLab's failed twice. Also, this one could potentially fail if it doesn't get the support it needs. I reluctantly backed it. I may back out. I have to get a better look at the tiers, but I went in telling myself I may have to back out of this. Like, I very well might back out of it. I don't know. I have to see the rest of the tiers. And I think a lot of people feel like they're either hell no. I feel like most people are either like hell no, kind of like me, right in the middle, but not many people are like, oh, hell yeah. No, like, not that many people are like, oh,
okay, me too. I'm the middle.
500. Say what?
I'm the middle too. Also because I like Marvel Legends, but it's not maybe one of my top 5 of figures in general.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Also
like,
because
Grayskull, Snake Mountain, like
I got the Snake Mountain because I'm super much fan.
Yeah, that you better have that shit. You have to have that. Like that's what I envy Masters of the Universe fans for that. I'm like, no, you need that. Like that first. But for me, I'm more of a Marvel guy. So I mean, see, here's the thing though, man, is that it's not a 1-to-1, right? Like that HasLab Ghost Rider, it's not like a Snake Mountain. Like the Sentinel was like a Snake Mountain. Like that's more of a 1-to-1 right there, or a Castle Grayskull. Like that HasLab.
Also for Transformers, the Unicron.
Oh yeah, Unicron. Yeah, my beautiful Unicron.
You have that one. I saw your review for that. That one was really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Because you feel the vibes of the movie, also the 1986, the series of because speaking of Transformers, I'm a G1 guy. I like the cartoon, the movie also too. The Galvatron era, I like that also.
That's right. We talked about you like the Cyberverse and the Armada era too, right?
Yes, I like it. Not super fun, but I like it. But I'm a guy that also as a collector, I'm I open for everything. I'm not a guy that says no. Maybe not. I'm a super Metzko guy, for example, or I'm not. But I try to understand because with this channel I cover everything with news, everything, all stuff. So because of that, I discover maybe some Tony that maybe I'm not too much into. But I like that. The problem is because I made my choice in my life to be only an artist, so I refuse to do a normal job. It's my choice. I'm not a guy with full of money, so I need to do some choices because of that. So now I'm super fall in love with Mythic Legions. So I got because I'm a fantasy guy too. So because of that, I start to collect Mythic Legions. I start to collab with it for Awesome, and so I got also figures from them. I start to collab with Diamond Select Toys. So now I'm in love with the Muppets. They send me the box with the Muppets. I'm a Muppets guy. And when I saw Animal, I remember you a little bit because the drum.
Yeah.
Did you see the I think yes, because did you see the parody of Bohemian Rhapsody with the Muppets?
I don't think I saw that. No, I've seen a
Was
few,
really cool.
but I'll check it out.
Take a look late. Not right now because I got a strike copyright, but
Oh yeah,
take
yeah,
a look if you want. It's really cool. It's really cool. I like the Muppets.
yeah.
And when I got this figure from Diamond Select to do the reviews and etc., and I, when I was a kid, I was a big fan of Muppets. I started to fall in love with them, but when I fall in love with something, I need to know more about it. And so I discovered the story of Jim Henson, the guy behind the Muppets. He was a
Oh,
Muppeteers. It is another perfect example of difficult for an original artist become popular got is the success that he deserved because God's success for an artist is not just a narcissist need. It's because the art, drum, piano, writing, Muppets, puppets, everything is a way to give love to the people. Is a way of love. So when you do love you work all your life for this love and to share this love for the people. Because when someone watch a movie, listen a song, dancing, he stay better, he stay happier. No, so you when you see your music, when you do a concert, you see the people dancing, you see the people happy, or when you see something become emotional for your novel, you get a important feedback, and this feedback is like an hug for yourself, for your mind. So it's really important, in my opinion.
yeah. I actually have, and I've had it a few times where I've had like, and it sounds really bizarre to say it, but almost like an outer body experience. Like for certain moments of playing music, especially live shows, like I could feel myself kind of lose track. It's very similar to like a jogger's high. They say like if you're jogging, like you start to feel your body's moving on its own, but your mind is somewhere else. It's kind of like that, where like you feel your mind elevate beyond what you're physically doing. And when that happens, I feel the most connected to everything. It's almost like if we were to clap at the same exact time, you wouldn't hear the other person clap because it's happening at the same exact time because you're so connected that they're not even there. But instead of it being another person, it's your mind. It's trippy, and I feel like making that connection, it's like it sparks things up. It brings joy to people's life. It elevates everybody. Everybody's connected. When I'm playing and I see people dancing, like that makes me happy as hell. I feel like I'm creating something good and healthy, something that helps people. Like when those people are when I'm playing my beat, are they thinking about work? Are they thinking about like whatever their boss told them that they need to have done by the end of the week? Are they thinking about the chores that they have to do when they get home? Are they thinking about those bills that they're going to have to pay or those errands they're going to have to do the next day? No, they're not thinking about any of that shit. They are free. They are in a good place. They are living life and they are happy. They are disconnected from their problems. They are in a moment of bliss. And the band takes them there. The music does that, and to be a part of that music, it's an honor. It's like I do feel like it's an honor, and it's one of those things where it's like just musicians in general are very underappreciated, and it's very sad because it's one of those things where it's really cheap to access. Anybody can get a hold of free music from anything. It's like there, and because of that, just by the nature of supply and demand, it's just not appreciated the way it should be appreciated. And I feel like all music, I appreciate all music, no matter what music I hear. If I'm walking by and I hear music and they have a tip jar, I throw money in. I hear music, I have to stop and listen. I have to stop and listen. I have to give it my attention because that person's putting themselves out there for everybody else to hear. And even if it's not my style of music that I like, I still want to hear it because it takes a lot for a person to do that. It's a lot of energy and a lot of yourself that you're sacrificing or giving out there, and it's precious. So I treat it with respect, whether it's a piano player in the lobby at a hotel, or whether it's just some street musician, whether no matter what, like I'll give it my attention, because it's just too precious to let go like it's nothing. It means a lot. Music is life, man.
That's
Music
true.
is life.
That's true. And I think also what you told a few moments ago can be expressed also with this image. Because when between the people on the stage and the crowd, there is a symphony of souls, a connection. But
Mhm.
because there is looks like a become a member of the same body, like a big body with the crowd and the musician.
Mhm.
And the art of this body is the drummer, because the drummer get the rhythm. Yes, I consider the drummer is the reason why many times I start a song with the drum
Mhm.
on MIDI, but with the drum part,
Mhm.
because the drum is the heart of the song. Give you
Right.
the
The heartbeat
give you
is
the way of the song. If it's a slow song, is a more rock or rag or jazz.
rock and roll.
The
Yeah,
design, the style, and everything. So there
that's
is also this good comments for you. I want to share this.
I appreciate the OG YouTubers like you, Shartimus. Hey, thank you, Princeton. I think some of these newer YouTubers creating drama and disharmony, creating drama. I mean, there are new YouTubers doing that. There's also new ones that are just doing their thing and just enjoying the hobby, but it's very popular to be negative now. So that's like that's what YouTube is encouraging people to do. And I try to incorporate it in my titles, but I try to keep my content the same as it's been. It's just the titles I'll try to make a little bit more negative so that it comes up. But for the most
Yes,
part, the content.
I heard something about that. I mean, it was a guy that put rating this stuff, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, Joey B. Yeah, he rated a bunch of reviewers and everything. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that. I mean that was pretty harsh for a lot of people to see. I can understand that. I mean, I've had a lot of people criticize me and stuff over the years, so I know what it's like. You know what I mean? It could have easily been me in the F tier if it was somebody else. Like somebody else could have done it, put me in F tier. People have put me in F tier already. Like I already know this. Like it's the reality of it. Not everybody's going to love you. That's just the way it goes. As a musician, you have to know that also.
Yes,
Someone was telling me, how do you even read the comments? And I said, reading comments, man, have you ever played a drum solo in front of a whole bunch of people and you thought that you were playing a great drum solo, and when you got towards the end of the drum solo, everybody just walked away? That hurts a lot more. That hurts a lot more than the comment section. That hurts way
yes,
more than the
absolutely.
comment. I told my wife that story. She's like, I don't understand how you do that. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you love music so much. You put so much of yourself into this. For somebody to not like it, I don't see how I would be able to do that and then go play drums again. Now I'm like, I've been getting it for years. Like I've been doing it for so many. I've been rejected by people so many times already. It's like you can't think about it. I just move on. Not their style. They don't like, whatever it is about me. It's just not for them. It's okay. Whatever.
Yes, me too. Me too. We're on the same page. I'm not a guy that I become depressed for some comments. Honestly, I don't care for a negative. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care. So it's another guy that watch my video, just like that. To me, it's
Yeah.
not.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Exactly. So he's not a guy that also, especially in the wrestling. This one, not so much. But in wrestling, you got hardcore fans. If you talk good for wrestler and bad for Adam, start to some wrestling fighters in the chat, no? But sometimes I like also to play with that, no, to provoke a little bit, especially
But
with wrestling.
yeah, I was gonna say wrestling's a different kind of thing because
Yes.
I'm not into wrestling, but I admire it, and I love the heel and babyface thing that you guys have, like the good guy and bad guy, and there's kind of like my friend who lives close by, he does local wrestling. He's always the heel, or almost all the time. He's the heel, so it's fun to watch him go up there and people go boo, and he's like, yeah, and and I'm up there too going boo. That's my friend, but like I get it. It's the theater of the whole thing. You know what I mean? So I always thought like for wrestling, it's got to be a little bit tricky because like everybody's got to just. It's a little bit lighter, isn't it? Like people are more about talking shit to each other more a little bit. No, I don't know.
Yeah, because they can compare the two audience because if the two channel in two different way. And
Yeah,
I discovered that the fan of wrestling are more punk rock, if we can say that. So more hardcore, no? Because in toys, sometimes there is someone that don't like your videos, but just like that.
uh-huh.
With wrestling, if you start to talk about some, because for example, I like the big guy, I like the giants. When I watch wrestling, because I love the 80s, early 90s, I like larger than life character. I want to see
Right.
something special. I'll call him Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah, something like that. No,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw like today,
I love
exactly,
that.
exactly. When I
Yeah.
watched today the WWE, this little cruiserweight, 170 pounds, 180 pounds, really a jibe on the mic, nothing. Charisma, nothing. So I start to talk against them during my live stream because I don't like that. For example, now Vince McMahon um, leaving because some problem, and Triple H take over everything. I don't like Triple H style because
Oh,
he put away the Giants. He don't care. He doesn't care about story, but doesn't care about crowd. He won't push only guy, especially small guy that looks that pretend to be a badass. But he's a little guy. Come on. So
yeah.
this time, so because of that, my idea is not a common idea today because the current wrestling fan love the cruiserweights, love the guy, don't care about characters. Once the guy that jump from the top rope or the other angle of the ring like a little butterfly. I don't. So
Oh,
because I don't like this style, sometimes I go against the follower. But this channel is also the channel of wrestling I have is also weird because I have fans from India around the world, so not only from US. And the Indian people are more quiet, more. They appear. Sometimes I did some stream with 500 people in this channel, and they appear just only to ask me, say my name. Okay, I say your name. So it's a little bit weird, but I do that. So I'm a little bit quiet, but especially the US hardcore wrestling fan are badass, no questions about it.
that sounds about right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. If I had my wife got into wrestling a little bit too, so I've like my close friends are all into it. I wish I had the time to get. I don't have the time to sit and watch the wrestling matches. I wish I could, but I don't watch like anything like any sports or anything like that for big chunks. But yeah, I've gotten a little bit nerdier as I've gotten older, or it's just a little bit of time. I've been having the kids. It limits everything. Like everything is like as far as like entertainment goes, like everything is just a little bit less.
Man, if I think about you, you're a YouTuber, you're a musician, you have a kids. I don't know. Oh, you can do everything. So because to me, I haven't kids, and to have two channel to continue as a writer and every stuff that I did is difficult to follow everything. Now I have this project that I told you before. It's still a secret so far. So they told you before this the big project. So because of that, I don't know how you can find the time to do everything. It's difficult with kids,
Yeah.
with also because you need to listen, kids, and why. I have a girlfriend, but she live in another house in another city. She come to me only 1 week a month, so we stay together 1 week So we are able, and also she complained because when she come with me, she see me do video after video after video after video, so she's not really happy because of that. No,
You're working, you're
yeah.
hustling. It's tough. Yeah, I know. That's the story of my life. I never. I spend a lot of time making the videos, man, and I've still been working on Street Humans too. Like Street Humans is not dead. It's still alive, and it's like that was like one thing that happened to me earlier today is that I was trying to work on a video and work on Street Humans at the same time. And it's just really hard to do, like all that.
And by the way, when will be the pre-order, we will do a stream together to promote that, my friend.
Oh yeah, awesome, right on. Yeah. Whenever it's ready, yeah. I have a lot of things happening at once, but eventually, hopefully sooner than later, I can have some goodies. But this whole time it's been a lot of little behind the scenes stuff trying to make it happen. But yeah, it's gonna
just to have another things to do every day because you are not busy to do also this one. This
project. Yeah, I know. I just need something else. Yeah, with music coming back and everything, or things going back to normal. I'm playing more music now, and God, that is I'm so grateful to be able to do that because there's like there's times where it's like, oh man, a little low on money, and then it's like gig, like, oh sweet, or I'll get my my check from teaching lessons and stuff. So yeah, so it's
Prince Tom Palanx. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The two best channels on YouTube are Mr. Alan of the Toys and ShartimusPrime.
And Pixel Dan.
And also Pixel Dan. Also because Pixel Dan is a friend of both. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. I got
and also
hang out with him quite a bit.
Tell me something about PowerCon, your experience.
Oh yeah, I had a great time. Like it was a really well put together show. I got to spend a lot of time hanging out with other YouTubers and meeting a lot of people. And then a lot of Masters of the Universe product there. I know they didn't have an exclusive there, but like the whole show is based on Masters of the Universe. Like it's all Masters of the Universe stuff for the most part. And really good vendors, really nice people, man. I had a lot of fun over there. They have these incredible after parties. I had a great time. I stayed up late pretty much each night hanging out and everything, and everybody, yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you can make it out. I know it's a far trip for you and everything.
Yeah,
it's a far trip for me too. It's California is quite a ways away, but like it's in the middle. It's closer to the middle of the country, and a lot of people from a lot of different states were able to go.
I hope one day, because when I watch something on the web about that, also because I cover also that in the toy news also, I watch many friends. That was you, Pixel Dan, was Nate Birch is my friend, the Forosman Studios, my friends, was Emiliano Santa Lucia, my friends, Rebecca Cox was a guest of my show. So it was there many guests of my show. It looks like why I need to do that some way.
I thought about you too. Yeah, I was like, oh, you would love this place, man. Like it was great. And the after party was really cool. They just went nuts and brought out a Castle Grayskull and a bunch of Origins figures and dumped them on the floor. And a lot of the guys that were there, their kids were playing with the figures, and a couple of guys were playing with the figures in there and stuff. And we're all hanging out and chatting and everything. It's a really good time. You would love it, man. It was awesome. I highly recommend it. Val put on a great show. It was awesome.
I need only to because I'm not a big fan of to fly. I don't like so much fly, but not because I'm afraid that the airplane can goes down, because I don't like too much to be suspended in the not on the. I need to have the land under my feet, so I need to pass through that. But I think one day I need to do that also because it's time to continue to growing up. I need to meet someday also my followers, no, because in Italy I have few followers, but as a writer, no, in other stuff they do in Italian. And also because it should be cool, meet you in person, meet you, Danny, meet you, the Forceman Studio. Also, the Forceman Studio invite me to be in New Jersey in the Legions Con, another show
Oh,
of Mythic Legions. But also for that, also there is also a money problem, honestly, because he spent so much with figures. So the balance, I need to do a balance so far. But I hope one day to do that, to meet friends like you and other guys, to stay together in real life. No, it's different.
Yeah, no, it's it's a totally it's a different experience being out there and being on one with people, and yeah, it was cool. But I understand it's a far way away. I recommend taking some local flights. You know what I mean? Just
Hey, but
shorter
the local
flights.
flights, the problem are too small. In
Uh,
this way, so they can do this. What is the words to describe when no, the movement?
the turbulence,
The turbulence, exactly. In Italian, is turbulenze, so it's not
Oh,
far
it's
away from
similar. Yeah.
similar.
I
So,
flew a plane once. I flew a plane one time, and they said it was a birthday gift. I should probably get going soon, but I wanted to share with you this story. Um, the uh, the birth My wife got me a birthday gift that I could fly a plane, and just a kind of a small plane. And when I went there, they said, "Well, it's a little bit windy up there. I mean, you could go, or you could schedule a different day. If you want to schedule a different day, that's okay. But if you still want to go up there, it's a little risky, but you can still do it." And I said, "You know what? Let's do it." So I get up there, and oh shit, that that I'm flying the plane, and I could feel the wind hit the plane. It felt like
wow,
the Juggernaut from the X-Men was going like this under the wing, and I'm fighting against it, and I'm holding it. They say that they call it white knuckling the yoke. I was scared out of my mind, and I'm flying this thing, and then to land, the pilot's because it's a bit windy. Do you mind if I land it? I'm like, yeah, you could land the plane, sure. He's like, and then he lands the plane. After we got off the plane, all the people inside, like, they were looking at us like ghosts, like, whoa, I can't believe you went up there. Jeez, that was like the windiest like we've seen
it's
it.
a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Oh, it was so scary. It and so thin, like it's thinner than a car. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah. So it's like I'm like this, but like there's my elbow, and then that much, and then air. Like
Wow.
it's only like a little bit. Like,
To me, it's a nightmare. It's something that I afraid only of air of that in my
uh-huh.
life. And I don't like spider, but a spider you can kill a spider. No, I don't like
Yeah.
the spider, the insect. So I kill every spider that I see. I kill it. I live, by the way, in a small town with a medieval. The location of the video, the Mythic Legions Song, is near my house. There is the castle, the yard, everything. So it's like that near my house. Only forest, ruins, castle, the stuff.
Wow.
So nature, insect everywhere in summer. So I kill insect every day. Also the big bee. I don't know what is the name in English. The big bee.
Wasp? Is it called wasp? Or
Yes, it's a big bee, dangerous big bee,
Mhm.
and and they comes in the night with the light. So I try to find a way to kill all of them because the spiders. But you can kill this stuff. But when you are in your case on the airplane with this turbulence like that, you are in the neighbor and you can't escape that. So this is really the reason why I don't like fly because you can't escape. There's no way you can stay only there and try to don't think about where are you. So And I saw to go to PowerCon, there is some change of fly, and the moment that I don't like is when the airplane goes up.
Oh, I love that part.
I ate that part. I ate.
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite part. One time I fell asleep during that part. I was like, oh, I passed out.
Give me some Valium, some bottle of Valium to survive, to sleep.
That's the part. That's the fun part where it's like a roller coaster. And landing is.
I like when arrives during the arrival because it's the end. So when they go,
but it always gets you a little kick in the butt when it lands.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's finished.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. I remember when I was about 11 years old, I was on a flight to Costa Rica, and I was sick and throwing up on the plane. I remember I threw up all over my Wizard magazine. I had a Wizard magazine, and I threw up all over it, and I was mad that they threw away my Wizard magazine. But they're like, I had throw up on it. It's garbage. And I was like, I know, but I wanted my magazine. But it was it's tough facing your fears like that, man. It's like, especially if it's something like traveling, that's got to be tough to overcome. But I believe in you, Alan. I believe you could do it.
I won't do that in some way. We maybe one day will be possible. How much time do you still have?
Or I can go over there. That would be really
yes.
Cool. I would
anytime, any day. I have a big house. There is a bed for you. No problem for that.
Oh, awesome. Oh, right on. Cool. Yeah.
I have a house of 3 floors, so no problem for that. It's like a little castle.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be cool. So
and because of the change of time, you will live in the night with me because I'm with the time US time because of my channel. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so so the hours will sync up just fine. I won't have to worry about jet lag.
Exactly, because I live in the same time. So I will be very happy to have you here. Maybe we can go in some studio because near my house, in the town near, there is a studio, music studio, a good music studio.
Nice.
And the sound engineer is my friend of mine. So if you will be my guest in the future, we will go to the studio. Won't share. They have a drum, different type of drum. It's a really technological also because some wall are from glass wall, so you can see in the other room the drummer of the other musicians. So super cool studio.
Oh, nice.
It's
nice.
Cool.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, I hope to take it out there. I've never even been to anywhere in Europe before, but I would love to because always
there is the airport. There is an airport not so far from me. It's about 2 hours from me because in the bigger city near my house, the bigger city is Turin. It was the city of the 2006 Winter Olympics game.
Oh, okay.
And there is an airport there also, and this obvious. Maybe you need to change some fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some like layover flights or whatever. But yeah. If I could ever make it out there, I would love to be able to do it. But yeah, it is tricky to figure it out. It is tricky to figure out for sure, man.
There is a question, but I don't understand this question. Is just J? What is J? What do you mean for J?
Oh. There's a guy named Just J Hernandez, and I think I could see he thinks because Just J Hernandez is an actor, he thinks Just J Hernandez is impersonating you. I think.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Probably.
Possibly. I could be talking to Just J Hernandez. I could be. I'm pretty sure it's Alan.
Yes, the actor. I don't know. I know some actor, but more than are Italian. I did an interview right here with Anthony De Longis. That was the guy that played Blade in the Motu movie, in the 1987. Also, was in my show.
Oh wow, nice.
Do you remember the guy with the sword in the Master of the Universe movie 1987? The bald guy with one.
Oh, okay.
Master of Sword.
I know who that character is. Right.
And the actor that played that character was in my show 1 year ago. This one, by the way, is the episode 63 of my show.
Wow, episode 63. Nice.
And everything started with Brian Flynn. Brian Flynn was the first one that trusted in this show.
No way. Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome guy, Brian Flynn. Was the first
Oh, yeah,
one.
he is. I was just talking to him yesterday. I think yesterday. Yeah. I think I just did an interview with him yesterday. So, yeah, but these days are going by so freaking fast. Pretty sure it was just yesterday. Yeah. And yeah. So I just did an interview with him, and he was very kind, man. He was super nice. Yeah, he was
a nice guy. I love Brian. I love Brian also because he's the first one that trusts in my show. Now also, when it comes to time, Hasbro G.I. Joe team, Lenny and Emily. So this show become bigger with the guest. But the first one, first ever guest in my show 2 years ago was Brian. So
nice, awesome,
big gratitude to him.
yeah. Shout out Brian Flynn. Yeah, no, awesome guy.
Brian, we return. Daila Camelon. We return soon. No. Speaking of the deal.
Nice. Right on, man.
How much time do you have? Do you need to have?
Yeah, I should probably get going because I want to spend some time with the kids before they pass out, before they go to sleep. So it's kind of,
so maybe it's time to play our outro.
Oh, I can't play right now. It's a little bit too late right now.
I play me.
But you can play it for both of us.
I play me for both.
Awesome. I'll clap.
You find your legions when you got your faction. You find emotions in a magic world. You find the friends with the music, also in another land of the world. And with the music, I find a good friend, and the name of this friend is ShartimusPrime. So I'm very happy to have you back because it's beautiful to talk with a friend that have this big passion for the music. Likewise. It's like we know maybe the first episode with you, I think, was in the spring of 2021. But because of this connection, looks like that I know you for a long time. I don't know why.
Yeah, likewise, man. Well, I mean, I think we have very similar passions, and I think our hearts are in the same place.
Exactly. It's tonight I discover also some similar story with the music, with the up and down story. Yeah. So we can understand each other really well about the beautiful moment, also the sadness moment.
yeah. We have some amazing, it's ups and downs, man. But this is life. This is how life works. We have good days, and then we have shit days. It happens.
Exactly. So thank you guys to all of you, and see you soon. And don't forget, go to subscribe the channel, this one, and the channel of Shartimus Prime. Bye-bye, guys.
Right.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.